One of the main reasons why finances in Canada is so important is because when you move to Canada, one of the main reasons why you move here and immigrate to Canada is because you want a better financial situation. Taxes is a very important topic that you need to understand. Hi there, welcome back to the channel. On this channel, I talk about life in Canada, Canadian immigration, and personal development. Now today I will be talking about how exactly you can optimize your finances in Canada. I know this is kind of a different video, but at the same time, this video is very important, and trust me, this video will really help you if you want to really level up your finances and really figure out what are the resources that are available in Canada in regards to financing. So some of the things that I'll be talking about in this video is I'll be talking about investing. I will be talking about RRSP, which is a registered retirement savings account. I will be talking about tax-free savings. And just in the event that you are watching from the US, then tax-free savings in the US is called Roth IRA, and the RRSP, which is a retirement savings account, that one in the US is called 401k. Now they are the exact same things. The only difference is that they have different names across Canada and the United States, but they have the exact same benefits. So with immigrating to Canada, financing is something that is very important. One of the main reasons why finances in Canada is so important is because when you move to Canada, one of the main reasons why you move here and immigrate to Canada is because you want a better financial situation. And the crazy thing is, you might come to Canada and you are still living paycheck to paycheck. So in the event that you realize that there's a high possibility that you may be living paycheck to paycheck, this video is actually very much for you, because this video will really show you how you can really elevate and move your finances forward versus always being backwards and always feel as though you're always chasing your tail, always going to work, and then after you pay your bills and then you go to work, you pay your bills, and that's pretty much life for you, and you sleep and you eat, and that's pretty much life. Now, I went down a whole rabbit hole where I did a lot of research about taxes in Canada, just trying to understand why exactly taxes are that high and if there's a way to bring the taxes down. Now, basically, from my extensive research about taxes, basically what I've realized is that everyone just pays the taxes, and there are ways to reduce the taxes, but those ways are pretty complicated. So one of those ways is really starting a business. That is one of the ways. And the next one is investing. And that is taught by Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is located in the United States. So if you were to watch Rich Dad Poor Dad, what you'd realize, and either you can do two things. You can either watch Rich Dad Poor Dad, he has a podcast. You can watch a podcast, or you can read his book. The book is available. It is called Rich Dad Poor Dad. I would definitely recommend that book for you. It is a very good book to read, and you will learn a lot about optimizing your finances as well. But in this video, let's tell you about some of the easier ways that you can take steps in your finances that doesn't include major moves in terms of leaving your job and things like that. So the first way to get your finances together is actually understanding the tax system in Canada. Taxes is a very important topic that you need to understand when you're living in Canada. So when it comes to taxes in Canada, I've already done a video on it, so I'm just going to tell you to take a look at the video. I am going to link it here, and I will probably leave it down below. If not, it will be somewhere and you'll see it. But check out that video about taxes, because that video will definitely teach you a lot about taxes. Some of the most important things that I want to mention in this video in terms of financing is that one of the tax advantages of Canada is actually having an RRSP account, which is an account where it is a retirement savings account. And basically at the end of the year, they will get the total amount that you have contributed for that year in your RSP account, and then that amount is going to be subtracted from your taxes. So basically, if you were to contribute $2,000 to an RRSP account, then that amount is subtracted from your income as amount that will not be taxed. So because of that, RRSP is very beneficial. The next reason why RRSP is so beneficial is because some employers actually match the amount that you place in an RRSP. Now, if you have an employer who say they match, let's say 1% of your income, definitely make sure 1% of your income, at least that amount, is placed in that RRSP account, because that is basically free money that you're getting. If you put 1% of your salary into that RRSP, then your employer will match it with another 1%. If let's say they would match 10% of your income, then you place 10% in there and they will match that 10%. I highly recommend that whatever percentage they say they would match, put that in there. It doesn't matter how much it is, put it in there and figure out how you're going to live off the rest of your income. But that is very, very vital, because that's literally just free money coming into your account, and quite frankly, you don't have to do anything with it. And seriously, if you don't really want to leave it until retirement, you can always take it out and get taxed, but you still earn more when that amount is matched. You're still going to make more than if it is taxed. So some things you have to think about is not just think about, oh, I'm going to lose money if I take it out. Something you have to think about is, what if you lost that money, but at the same time you gain more when your employer is matching the amount? So things like that is very, very important to keep and consider, and not just think about one side of things. So once you have a full understanding of taxes, the next thing that you need to understand when it comes to optimizing your finances in Canada is really and truly understanding what are the benefits that are in Canada. And by benefits, I mean the social benefits. The benefits includes things like dental support, they have employment insurance, they have childcare. There are a lot of benefits of living in Canada, and a lot of these benefits are also available to international students as well. You don't necessarily have to be an immigrant or a permanent resident. So quite frankly, you just need to know about these benefits, know how to apply for them, and apply for them. The next thing you need to also know about, which I mentioned in the video about taxes, which I am going to be linking here for you, is all about tax credit and how tuition tax credit work. I am going to leave you to watch that video to get a full understanding of how tax credit work as it relates to tuition, because that is very, 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 very beneficial, where basically you will get back all of your money that you paid in tuition. So the main reason why you want to get a full understanding of the benefits that are offered in Canada is that you want to take advantage of them. And the main thing is that if you don't apply for these benefits, you are not going to get them. So that is why you need to know about them. If you don't know about a benefit, there was a benefit that I was eligible for, and I didn't get it for 2 years because I did not apply for it, because I didn't know it existed. So that's why I say you have to optimize with these things, because they can really help you in your financial situation. So that is why it is very, very important to know all the benefits, see what the eligibility is, and see if you're eligible. And if you're not eligible, see how you can become eligible for some of these benefits and utilize them. So there are multiple savings accounts that are located in Canada, and in the names they say savings account, but these are also investment accounts. And it is very, very important to understand what this means. Now, if you continue to watch my videos in the future, what you'd realize is when I talk about finances, it will seem very, very simple compared to what you always hear, because I tend to just break things down very simply. I don't like complications, and I like things easy, simple, and very easy to understand. So just that's how I like that. That's what I will be giving to you. So definitely keep watching all my finance videos. What videos about life in Canada? What videos about Canadian immigration? Because that's all on my channel. And definitely remember to subscribe to my channel. It really helps out my channel to see that it's growing and to make me come back every single week and do a brand new video. And I post a new video every single week. Sometimes I post 2 times per week. So definitely join the family. Definitely subscribe to the channel. And the next thing I'm going to be talking about is the savings accounts. Now, the first one, this one is a direct savings account, and it is a high interest savings account. Now, this account usually gives you 1 to 2% in savings, which isn't much, but I would say put it in there versus getting 0.0005%. So if you have your money just laying randomly in any bank account, any savings account, it makes about 0.005%. And you don't want that. Some of them is like 0.001%. Like that's like nothing. You're basically making no money. But if you place it in a high interest savings account, you can make about 1 to 2% of the amount that is in there every single month, which is definitely worth it compared to making absolutely nothing. And that is how I started off. I first was doing like most people. They just place their money in their checking account and it stays there and that's it. And then I found out about the high interest savings account. I place it in there. So once your money have been into your high interest savings account, quite frankly, there's a lot that goes into financing. I cannot finish it all into one video. I'm already very far into this video and I really cannot go in all the details, but I will do other videos about this. But after your money is in a high interest savings account, the next place you want to go towards putting your money is to put it into a guaranteed investment account. Now, there are two types of guaranteed investment accounts, which is very important to note. And those are to know that it is one, a redeemable account, or it can be two, a non-redeemable account. Now, a redeemable account means that you can take your money out at any time and whatever interest you've been earning, you will keep that interest. And then afterwards, well, you took out the money, so there's no interest being made. The next one is a non-redeemable account. Now, with that non-redeemable account, you cannot take any money out of it. The word kind of shows you exactly what happens. But yeah, basically, you can't take any money out of this. So it is called a non-redeemable account. So now, deciding whether you put your money in a redeemable account or a non-redeemable account is quite frankly up to you and up to your financial situation. But one thing you would always notice is that it is important to diversify your money, so you're not putting money in just one place, but you're putting it in multiple places. A GIC account earns about 4 to 5%. The redeemable one would be the lower one because you can take your money out, and then the higher one is the non-redeemable, where you cannot touch the money, you cannot take it out for any type of emergency. You cannot touch the money at all. Like, you just have to live without that money, and it stays in there and it grows. Now, the next thing you need to know about is a tax-free savings account, which is offered in Canada. Now, a tax-free savings account is the same thing as a Roth IRA in the United States. This account is as it says, a tax-free savings account. So what it means is that money that you place in here, when you make interest on it, tax will not be deducted. But if you don't place your money in this account and you make interest, all that interest that you make is taxed. So for example, if you place your money in a high interest savings account, but it's not in a tax-free savings account, you will be taxed on the amount that you earned. So that is why tax-free savings account will really help you to optimize your finances and really level you up to a different level compared to the average person in the world. Now, the other thing that you need to make a note of with tax-free savings is that there's a limit. RRSP has a limit as well, because government doesn't just want to say put as much money as you want and we won't tax any of it. So there's a limit, and that limit is pretty high. I'll put like a chart here so you can see it, or what I'll do is link it down below so that you can see the chart of how much it goes in increments, and they only count the years that you have filed your taxes. So it is very, very important to file taxes. That will be one of the advice that I give you as well, is to always make sure that you file your tax every single year. Whether it's going to say you owe money or not, in the long run, you're supposed to be making money. If not, then you're doing something wrong. The next account is a registered retirement savings account. Now, this is also called RRSP account, which is something I think you always hear these TFSA, RRSP, FHSA, and you're like, what are these things? So yeah, that's what I'm breaking down now. So with this one, RRSP, this one is just saving towards retirement. So basically, they want you to keep the money until retirement. If you take it out before then and you take it out for a house, they give you about 20 years to pay it back and they won't tax you. However, if you take the money out to do anything other than buy a house, then they are going to tax that money because you took it out. If you leave it there, then you still get taxed, but when you're retired and you take it out, that's when they tax it. So at the end of the day, you won't avoid being taxed. It's just deferred taxes. And that is why I was saying that this old taxes seems absolutely ridiculous, because, for example, for me, I think at one point I got to being taxed about, I think I'm being taxed about 30% of my income. 30% of my income being taxed. So that's why I saw it as I must be doing something wrong. Like, there's no way they're collecting 30% of your income. But that's actually true. Like, they take 30% of your income. So the more money you make, the more taxes you have to pay. And the less money you make, the less taxes you pay, and the more benefits you get. The more money you make, the less benefits you get as well. For example, with child care benefit, if you make a lot of money, then you barely get any money for child benefit. But if you make a low salary and you don't pay no taxes, if you make a low salary, you don't pay any taxes and you get child care benefits. So yeah, I saw it as illogical, but now that I've done my research, I realized that that's just how it works, and I wasn't doing anything wrong. Like, that's just how it works. Next, FHSA. So FHSA is First Home Savings Account. Now, this is a new account opened last year. They started this new thing where they want to help people to save towards purchasing a house. So they started this savings account, which is also a tax-free account where they do not take taxes from this once you take the money to buy a house. If you take the money to do anything else, then it's going to be taxed. If you take it to buy the house, then it will not be taxed. Now, the only thing you need to know with this account is to make sure that you only put the money that you're going to pay as your down payment in there, and don't put any more after that. The reason for that is, quite frankly, you just need a down payment to buy a house. You don't need anything else. If you want to put more money, that's up to you. But if you want to optimize your finances, you don't want to put all your money in just the down payment. You want to distribute it in mortgages instead of just dumping all your money all at once, and then you have to be fighting and then again living paycheck to paycheck to pay off the mortgage, when you could have paid a lower down payment and then slowly spend that money. The next account is the Registered Education Savings Account. So this account allows you to save for your child or children towards their education in the future. This is only postgraduate education. This is only post-secondary education. You don't have to pay for all other education. Those are free. It's just once they finish high school, then once they hit college, university, then they have to pay for those education. So it's nice to put down the funds. It is very, very good, because basically it encourages you to create an account when your child is 0 years old. So basically, when your baby just born and you figure out their name, create an account. Create the account, put aside $100, $50, $25 every single month towards this child. Do the calculation and see how much it will be when they're 18 years old. But basically what you do is to put aside as little or as much as you can afford. Put it aside. Even if it's $1, put $1 aside, and put it aside every single month. Put this money aside, because if you put aside that money until that child is 18 years old, it's going to become a lot of money by the time they are 18 years old. And if you do it correctly, then you should be also experiencing compound interest. And I know I already lost you once I mentioned compound interest, but basically compound interest just means your money goes up once you keep putting the interest in there and reinvesting that interest, and actually take the money that you are putting aside in this account and invest it. Don't just put it down there and it just die with inflation. Like, you have to actually put money inside of it and let the money grow. That is how you can optimize your finances. You need the money to grow. If you leave the money, then inflation is going to eat away your money and you're actually losing thousands of dollars every single year, or hundreds of dollars depending on how much money you have. So that's why it is very important to invest the money. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is investment. Now, first of all, just to let you know, I'm not currently a financial advisor, but I am currently doing a course to go towards getting licensed as a financial advisor. In terms of my background, I did a bachelor's in business administration, which a lot of it included finances as well. And I have done courses like corporate finance. I've done personal finance courses. I've done a lot of research about finances and a lot of different avenues to acquire the knowledge that I have about finances. So a lot of knowledge there, but I can't tell you that I'm a financial advisor because I'm not. All I'm telling you is information that I have gathered from my research, from my experiences, and just from my education, which is a degree. With investing, I break it down in 3 parts, me personally. The first one is zero risk. There is no risk with your investing. You will not lose any money. 100% of your money will come back to you along with whatever interest rate that you were supposed to get. This is called a guaranteed investment certificate. So this guarantees that you will get your money back. The only problem with it is that you have to actually have the physical money, then place it into that account. You can't put money in it over time and no, it has to be one money. You put the money in there and it stays there, and that's how it goes. So this one is the no risk at all, zero risk. You don't have any risk, you won't lose any money, you're good to go. The next one is low risk investment. I would call mutual fund low risk investment. This is because the possibility of you losing your money is very low. And mutual fund is where many companies, the mutual fund that I went into just recently, the financial advisor told me that is 17,000 companies that is in the one mutual fund account. So what that means is that if there are 17,000 companies in this one mutual fund, it means that even if 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 companies go down and they have a loss, you won't lose any money because you have another 16,000 something companies to back you up. That the possibility of every single company, all 17 companies going down, is pretty low. So that is why mutual fund works, is because your stocks is diversified among many companies across. It's actually across the world, because some of it is in Canada, some of it is foreign, like other countries, and also mutual fund can also be bonds. Now, bonds is for government. So basically the government wants some money, so they put out a bond to say we want some money to make a highway, and you invest into their bond, they use the money, and then afterwards they pay you back your money and they pay you back in interest. That's bonds. And that can also be a mutual fund. Now, the high risk areas where you can invest is where you go into stocks and bonds for one single company. It's high risk because if that one single company goes down, you lose all your money, or some of your money, or most of your money. But it's one single company. So that is why it's risky, because it's just one company. Anything happen to this company is over. If you invest in, for example, one industry, it's still one industry. Industries can fall. For example, you can say during COVID, one of the biggest industries that fell was hotels, accommodation, tourism. That's one industry that fell down. So that is why you could lose your money. But if you diversify and you have multiple industries, you have health, you have finance, you have this industry, that. When you have these multiple industries, multiple companies, it's harder to lose your money. So that is why mutual fund works, and I trust mutual fund more than going into individual stocks. Also with individual stocks, you have to be individually looking at market trends and taking money out, putting money in, and I am just not for it. I just want something that is simple, straightforward, to the point, and move on with my life. So that's why mutual fund and GIC is the best if you want your finances hands off. Something else to make your finances hands off, hands free, is to automate a lot of things. So automate how much money goes into these accounts, automate how much goes to your RRSP, automate what goes to your TFSA, automate whatever goes to your housing account. Automate it all so you don't have to think about it. Also, you don't see the money and chicken out and don't want to send over the money. It automatically gone already. Leave it there and live off whatever is left. If you do this right, you'll have enough money to live off of. If you did it wrong, you are going to get in trouble and have to go back and get the money. So that's a lot to take in. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it helpful. Hope now you are ready to optimize your finances. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel for more about personal finance. I'm going to link here my video about credit cards and how credit cards work, and just all things about credit card is going to be the next video. Definitely take a look at it. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.